Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad to be home. I literally just got home. That traffic jam was insane. I spent an hour in that traffic jam. I left church go before 12:30. It was before 12. It was even before 12:15. I want to say before 12:20. 12:20 is when I left. I just got home because I've been stuck on the highway because they done blocked the whole section off and I had to get off on my exit. I am so glad to be home. It is time to begin. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. Happy to be home right now. It is time for more One Piece. And I've looked into it before Ravi said so. We are going to be on a 2-week break from October 21st all the way to November 11th after this chapter. So not only is the anime on break, but also the manga is on break as well. And since I haven't caught up with Sakamoto Days quite yet, we're almost there. Sakamoto Days hasn't moved to Sunday, so this next upcoming Sunday is pretty much going to be a rest day for me until Sakamoto moves over there. Must have been a wreck over there. It was just the whole thing. The whole thing was just cut off. We couldn't see anything that was happening up the road because the cops had it pretty much. Cops had it pretty much cordoned off before we could really see anything up the road. What was happening on the highway? So yeah. So, man, I don't know why I always refresh the page to transition to live. It happens from time to time. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here with my One Piece. And my family's got my rice and chicken downstairs because I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm trying to get away from, well, I'm not trying, I am. I am working on eating a lot more healthy, so getting rid of like double fillets of fishes and all these different foods that I've been so comfortable eating because, sitting down and doing this and not being as adamant with my workout. And I'll say this right now. I haven't been as adamant lately with my workout. That sort of thing can build up. So I've been cutting back on foods to also help with that. So I've been working on me. But yeah. All other than that, my food's downstairs. A big old thing of chicken and rice. So I can't wait to eat that once I get done. But to give you a little bit of recap of what happened in the last chapter, Luffy and company were running from this big old giant, who we come to find out is actually Road, the navigator of the new giant warrior pirates that serve with Harudin. And because Harudin left Buggy's livery service to join up with Luffy as part of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, Road sees it as an affront because humans are inferior to giants. So we have a brand new Arlong, we have a brand new Hody Jones that looks as humans as inferior, and everything that Road has done with these past couple of chapters is for the extent of, if I hold Luffy here, then there's no way that Harudin can serve under Luffy if he's here imprisoned. But Luffy and company break out of this enclosure that Road has had them in, and they get outside. And Luffy's face is just, like awestruck and very happy to see what it is. So let's go ahead and get to chapter 1130, The Accursed Prince. You cannot bring us into the Elbaf arc and have a chapter called The Accursed Prince because then the first name I'm going to think of is Loki. Okay, let's get started. Chapter 1130, The Accursed Prince. And we have Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 17. Sword got stolen during nap time. So who all is sleeping here? Who all is sleeping here? We have Yamato sleeping, and we have Tama sleeping. Shinobu's nowhere to be seen, but apparently someone is stealing this sword. someone is stealing this sword from around Yamato while he's sleeping right now. And it's an interesting sword. It's definitely not Momonosuke's Ame no Habakiri, because it doesn't have like the three clover Suba on it. So, but it has like these circle designs on the scabbard. So I'm curious whose sword this is. But chapter 1130, the accursed prince. And then we get Franky, who's with the rest of the giants, going, "Listen up, warriors of Elbaf. This search is over!" And then all the giants are going, "What?" To make a long story short, we searched and we didn't find nothing. But we know they're alive. Oh, wait. Oh, no, this is giants going, "To make a long story short, we searched and we didn't find nothing." Oh, wait, this is still Franky. "To make a long story short, we searched and we didn't find nothing. But we know they're alive. They're alive and well, so thanks for trying so hard to find them for us. It really warms my heart. Ow!" And then Robin chimes in.
"Yes, let's wait for them in Elbaf. We're all heading for the same place."
Then Jinbei.
"Indeed. My shark network didn't turn up anything either. We're just grateful that you went to such lengths to search."
Then Brooke. "Plus, we're out of food. No point of any of this if you all starve in the process." And then Broggy just laughs and goes,
"I see. Well, if their own crew says so, they're fine. That seals it. Steer us back to Elbaf, boys. Hurrah!"
And then their ship kind of comedically jumps up in the air.
Let's toast to our safe return. We're out of food and drink, Captain.
And then we cut to Luffy and company as they break out of this castle into this incredibly frozen landscape.
It's huge! Look at this tree.
How many? Oh wait, who's saying this? How many thousands of years old is it? Are they all like this? So big!
It's freezing.
Is that a mountain? Look how long that rope bridge is. And the entire place is just like a completely frozen landscape. I didn't know we were back on Punk Hazard again. But Nami goes,
"Wait a minute. It's so vast. I feel like I'm getting dizzy just looking at it."
And then Usopp goes,
"Oh, hide! There are giants coming down the bridge!"
And someone's walking down the bridge. Yo, it's Gerd! It's Gerd and Goldberg. They were with Harudin.
What? Yo, it's right here. Why did Harudin have to bring that weirdo onto the crew? Why did Harudin have to bring that weirdo onto the crew?
New giant pirates, Dr. Gerd. And then we have new giant pirates cook, Goldberg.
Well, that's because he's a good navigator.
Well, I hate him. Look, he's not the shame of Elbaf. It's him.
Dig ya ga 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 ga.
There's so many different giant laughs.
Gig ya ga 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 ga. Ga goo ga 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 ga. Ga ba 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 ba. Dig ya ga 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 ga. Dig ya ga ga ga. That's only going to make Rodo happier.
You saw it, didn't you, Piper? His crow was carrying a little bird in his mouth.
And she's saying this to a giant, an owl that she has just resting on her arm. Her owl's name is called Piper. Cool.
Ooh.
Intruders have to be caught, of course, but Rodo creates intruders all on his own.
And mind you, Goldberg speaks with an SH at the end of his sentences when he says, well, that's
because she's a good navigator. Intruders have to be caught, of course, but Rodo creates intruders all on his own.
And then Usopp is going,
"Hide, Luffy!"
And then Luffy is just mind-numbingly going,
"They seem nice."
"No! Stop!"
I'm going to find them and
tell them Yarl's still alive! Yarl's still alive! He's still alive! No, because the thing is, we lost Yorl. He's the one that got sumo slammed by the beard by Big Mom, and he died from those wounds. But Jarl is still alive. The oldest living, one of the oldest living individuals that exist in One Piece is still very much alive.
I'm going to find him and tell Chief Yarl about this.
Did you hear that, people? They said the name Elbaf. We gotta be here.
And then Sanji's going, I didn't know there were giants, so beautiful. And then Luffy's screaming, hey, you guys, we're... And then Nami just covers his mouth and goes,
Idiot! They said intruders get caught.
and both Goldberg and Gerd look behind them.
Did I imagine that?
I think so.
And then there's a clanging. And they're going,
Frodo, are you in there?
and Luffy and company just start walking across the bridge. Whoa! It shakes a lot. It's so long. And then, it's so long! And then Zoro goes, we gotta hurry. If those giants come back, there's nowhere to hide. And Luffy's walking on top of the bridge. While we can see giant wolves have already scoped them out. And they see them.
A giant-sized bridge means every step is a pit to avoid.
Don't worry, Nami. I used to balance on ropes all the time. I'm good at this. And Usopp is just going,
It's a trial fit for a brave warrior.
The forest below is packed with giant wolves.
what's up, Luffy? Can you feel that too? Something's tingling. And Sanji goes, well, I'm not going. Then I'll. And neither are you. You're not setting foot in any forest in the entire world. And then Luffy goes, it's whoever I heard roaring back in the block room, I think. You guys keep going across the bridge. And Luffy just hops off of the bridge. My nose is messing with me. I'm sorry. Luffy just jumps off of the bridge. You guys keep going across the bridge. What? And then Sanji goes, no, wait, that's Chopper. No, that's Nami. Sorry, I didn't notice her in between Chopper's antlers that look extra long this time. We really haven't seen Chopper in his reindeer four-legged form all that much. But Nami goes, what are you doing, Luffy?
Be brave, Usopp.
And then Chopper goes,
Where are you going? It's all wolves down there.
and the snow and wind is still whipping up as they're crossing the bridge. And then we cut back to the giant warrior ship as they go,
What does it say? We attacked Egghead.
yes, that was in the morning paper.
Why would they lie about us? It's too tiny to see.
Wow, they put bounties on Dory and Broggy because they fought the Gorosei. They put bounties on Dory and Broggy. Is that a billion? Did they put billion bounties on them? And Robin goes,
I'll read it for you. The giant pirate crew returns after a century of slumber. With Emperor Straw Hat Luffy, they set the seas around Egghead aflame. The captains of the giant pirate crew, Broggy the Red, not Brogy, but it's Broggy. Broggy the Red Ogre, and Dory the Blue Ogre are each worth a bounty of 1.8 billion berries.
wow, they got a 1.8 million berry bounty. They're billionaires.
We have bounties? 1.8 billion? I didn't think we were back in action.
You were each 100 million back in the day, right? That's a big jump. They were 100 million. They were 100 million when we met them. Now they're worth $1 billion.
Of course, inflation means the currency value has changed a lot in 100 years. That seems appropriate for an Elbaf warrior chieftain now. Meanwhile, our captain is the culprit who murdered Vegapunk.
They're blaming the death of Vegapunk on Luffy. There ain't no way. There is no way they are... I see my sister driving away, and I just realized that all my stuff is still in the car. She taking my honey bun. But There is no way they are pinning the death of the death of Vegapunk on Luffy.
Meanwhile, our captain is the culprit who murdered Vegapunk.
What?
Another masterclass in lies and deception.
And then Lilith is laughing, going,
So he killed me, did he?
and this is Lilith.
Shut up! You know he was protecting you in the end.
Then Brooke goes, when was this picture taken?
At some point in Egghead, I'm sure. The World Economic Journal has people everywhere. They'll pay good money for photographs.
Then Robin continues,
When Luffy turns into his free form, does this mark appear on his arm?
Does it? He usually moves...
is that Vivi's work? Because on Luffy's arm, the X that signifies friend from the Alabasta arc is on Luffy's arm. That's not on Luffy's arm now, though. That had to have been Vivi.
Does this mark appear on his arm?
Does it?
He does it? Does it? He's usually moving around so much I never gotten a good look.
It seems unnatural to me. His hand is blurred, but the mark is crystal clear.
Strange detail to focus on.
That's Vivi's work. That's Vivi's work. That's Vivi.
It just seems familiar to me.
And Robin is thinking, I mean, this was all the way back in the Alabasta arc. Bro, this is Vivi putting her mark on the story. And then we have Dory going,
amazing to think that Straw Hat's considered equals with Red Hair now.
We had this youngster named Harudin in our crew. I hear he's your follower now.
He's the son of a king, too. You know. Oh, you know, was a real pretentious tempestuous brat, though.
wow, wait, Harudin's a prince? Excuse me?
He was the son of a king too, you know. Was a real tempestuous brat though.
He was he?
They wanted to come get you too, but in the end it was only us old-timers because of a bit of trouble back in Elbaf.
Trouble?
Trouble?
And then another giant chimes in.
It happened while the captains were away. You see, in Elbaf, the king had another official child, known as the accursed prince. He committed all manner of evil acts and was sentenced to crucifixion a few years back, but nearly escaped his punishment. It took all of our warriors to get him under control.
How strong is this person for every warrior to have to be rallied to stop him?
All the giant warriors of Elbaf together? What would his name happen to be?
Yeah, he's got a few screws loose. Robin's silent.
His desperate desire for a legendary devil fruit passed down through the Elbaf royal line, led him to kill his father King Harold and eat the fruit. The next time that Loki...
He has a devil fruit. He has a devil fruit. It's Loki, the accursed prince is Loki. I was right.
The next time that Loki, the accursed prince, is unleashed, the world will be brought to ruin. He is the shame of Elbaf.
The shame of Elbaf, and Big Mom wanted him married to her daughter? Oh. Yo. Luffy is out there and he walks right up to Loki. That's gotta be Loki. Wow, they even gave him the horned helmet and everything. But he's just chained to a tree. Chains around his legs, chains around his chest, his arms, all over his body. And he's just sitting there. Bandages covering his eyes. Chained to this tree.
Name yourself.
I'm Luffy, the man who'll be king of the pirates.
king.
Where am I? And who are you?
This is Warland, Elbaf's kingdom of warriors, the most powerful nation in the world, which once lived and breathed warfare. And I am the sun god who brings the world to an end, Loki!
And as Loki is saying this, yo, the kingdom of Elbaf is a gigantic tree. It's a giant tree. The castle that Luffy and company were in, including the giant bridge that they were walking across, literally minuscule in comparison to Elbaf itself. Elbaf in its entire kingdom is a giant tree. To be continued. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially been introduced to Elbaf. Now, here's the thing. I'm saying that this is just Elbaf, but yo, this tree is massive. And the thing is, there are multiple sections. There's like a middle section here where it shows like more buildings up top. So I feel like that's where all the other giants are staying at. And you see this gigantic sword that literally is half the size of the tree itself, sticking up through the branches right next to this giant tree as well. Well, this is another location that'll be safe once the sea levels rise. We now have another nation that can be added to that. Because at the bottom of the tree is the frozen landscape. And then above it is like this big giant amalgamation of branches. Then it has housing that's on there. And then the up top is like the top of the tree. Elbaf is it's Yggdrasil. Elbaf dwells on Yggdrasil. That is crazy. Is him screaming causing that giant tree to shake? Yeah, because down here at the bottom it says, it's shaking! Him. And the thing is, if you pay attention to Loki's eye underneath his bandages, for some reason, instead of it being shadowed over, there's a spot that's highlighted. So are his eyes also glowing too? Not to mention, this dude's got a devil fruit too. Now I'm just curious. A giant with a devil fruit, not an official, an actual giant with a devil fruit. Aside from Lilius Estomac and San Juan Wolf, another giant with the devil fruit. Wow. Let's see. Michael Tristan. I think the marriage between Loki and Lola and Loki isn't a peaceful thing for the giants either. Rather, it's like the giants just wanted to get rid of Loki by sending him to Big Mom since they can't handle Loki. Look, learning that Loki is the shame of Elbaf. The dude is evil. Going based off of this guy's story. It happened while the captains were away. You see, in Elbaf, the king had another official child known as the accursed Wait. He's the son of a king, too. The king had another official child. Harudin is Elbaf royalty? Hold on. Loki, the prince of Elbaf. So does that mean that Harudin is another prince of Elbaf? Not just like one of the princes of a royal family. No, does that mean that Harudin is an heir to the throne of Elbaf? Hold on. Harudin. Yeah. son of late King Harold, or Harald, however you want to say his name. And if I go over to Harold here, he was the king of Elbaf until Loki murdered him. Wow. Was the king of Elbaf and had 2 children, Loki and Harudin. Harudin! Loki and Harudin, his brother or maybe stepbrother, kind of like the case with Thor and Loki, with Loki, you know, being a Jotun. But he's still accepted as a brother of Thor. But Harudin is the right... Look, if Loki turns out to be like a stepbrother to Harudin, then that means that Harudin is the rightful heir to Elbaf. You said the same thing I said, Ozzy. Wow. The whole time, we had the heir of Elbaf in Dressrosa the entire time, and he fighting and chilling. I knew Harudin had a part to play in the story, and now I gotta think about all the times we seen Harudin when he was growing up. Not at any point realizing he was a prince the entire time. Wow. Also, is it just me, or in this panel where it shows Loki, is Loki insanely huge? Even by giant standards, Loki is huge. Loki is huge. Even by giant standards, Loki is massive. Because he's chained up to this tree. And his boot, even from a far distance from Luffy, just easily towers over him. Loki is massive. But yeah, we got another situation where another individual is killing another person for a devil fruit that they've been searching for. I'm just getting ahead of myself, but brotherly story always has a plot twist. We'll have to see. Yeah, Loki is ginormous. Like, how big is Harudin in comparison to Luffy? Like, let me pull up Harudin. Harudin, 72 feet tall. That's Harudin. In comparison to his size, he's pretty big. But Loki here looks insanely huge. Also, who's that giant sword? I don't know, Cohagen. But I know it's sticking. I know that the fact that it's a giant sword that is basically the size of Elbaf itself. And since the castle from this big panel view of Elbaf is so small, it means that this sword is one of the biggest weapons in the entire world. The fact that it eclipses the size of a giant easily. It's bigger than the Noah. It's bigger than anything I've ever seen. Shows why the Flare fruit was important. His promised devil fruit was eaten by Loki already. Huh? My wild theory is Harudin's looking for Ace's devil fruit and Dressrosa to compete with Loki. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay, so now it's all piecing together. It's all piecing together. Sorry, Juke. Also, hi, Juke. So yeah, that would explain why Harudin was trying to get his hands on the Flare fruit. Kitty, good to see you. Because Loki pretty much, I want to say, took the fruit that was supposed to go to Harudin. Maybe it could be Harold's sword, King Harold of Elbaf. The sword that is pretty much half the size of the entire country itself. That belongs to the king. That belongs to the king? That sword is huge. Oh yeah, that does ask more questions why Harudin was competing in the Colosseum for a devil fruit. Maybe they have Celestials in the One Piece universe too? Bro, I don't know, but my thing is, this was a chapter. Loki has the real gum fruit. Yeah, Loki has the real gum fruit, while Luffy has the basically the sun god fruit, which Loki sees himself as. But we all know that. Come on. Luffy is the sun god Nika. Luffy is Nika. Luffy's Nika. He's the new Joy Boy. But so that's the presence Luffy has been sensing. It's been Loki. Here's the thing, though. How often do we see Luffy saying, like, there's something, I sense something, something's tingling? How often do we get Luffy saying that something is tingling his senses? Let me see what you guys have said. Let me acknowledge everyone. Doomsday. Yes, yeah. Remember that guy that worked with Kudo? Why does he look like Ozzy Osbourne and he acts like Michael Jackson? Oh, you mean Django. Yeah, you mean Django. Let's see, his voice acting is hilarious. Whose? Django's? Yeah, Kazuki Yao does do a good voice for Django, but he's currently taking a break right now. Yo, Ogata, it's good to see you. So let me acknowledge everyone. Ravi, Ozzy, Kohagen, CDs, Doomsday, Holster, Ogata, Hybrid, Juke, Ozzy. Let me acknowledge everyone who's here. It's good to see you all. 17 people watching. Hello! Yo! Peoples, it's good to see you all. I believe was about 347 years old back during Big Mom's backstory, and that was 60 years ago, so he's 400 years old right now. One of the more long-lived people who exist right now. You should have known that Sanji would lose it if he saw Gerd. Forgot it, twirly brow. You can't handle all of that. Yeah, Sanji ain't ready for no giant woman. All I wanna be is the cuckoo gets to see a giant woman. Gotta get that honey bun. No, that honey bun's gone because my sister done took off down the road. I don't know where she went, but I'll get it back. Wonder what kind of honey bun it was. The frosted or iced? It's glazed. Let's see. But man, wow. So now, something's a little off topic. This just crossed my mind. I don't think that Robin knows that Jinbei knows Koala. She wasn't around when Jinbei was telling the story about Fisher Tiger and Otohime. I don't think so. They really haven't had a time to just like talk to each other without being in a situation where they need to focus elsewhere. So, yeah, Jinbei, that's not really something that's been brought up. Let's see. In Egghead, he did it with Kizaru, I think, but he definitely reacted to the Godosei. But did he necessarily say that I feel something tingling? But that's just me. I'd love for Loki to have a gum fruit, though I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Logia or mythical Zoan. Stolen honey bun? Oh no, it's in the car. I'm gonna get it back. I will get it back. But let me go back to what this giant was saying. Let's see. His desperate desire for a legendary devil fruit passed down through the Elbaf royal line led him to kill his father, King Harold, and eat the fruit. So he's already eaten the fruit. Whatever fruit this is, that is apparently a legendary devil fruit. So the next time that Loki, the accursed prince, is unleashed, the world will be brought to ruin. He is the shame of Elbaf. And then it just shows Loki just chained up in front of Luffy. So my question is, what type of devil fruit do you have? I would like to know. And the thing about Elbaf I really like is that the fact that it's just a gigantic tree and the water that gets caught up in the trees are just basically gigantic cascading waterfalls. I wonder, is this place bigger than Zoe? Is Elbaf taller than Zoe? So many questions. So let me do this. Let me go to Loki. Let's see. Prince of Elbaf, being one of the sons of the late King Harold, as well as his murderer, leading to his imprisonment and pejorative title as the accursed prince, was once Charlotte Lola's arranged fiance before she ran away. So let me pull up chapter 1130. Is a very large giant, at least over 10 times Luffy's size, with long, light hair arranged in tight braids at the front, but disheveled at the back. His body is relatively lanky by giant standards, with long legs and muscular, tattooed arms. He also sports a pointy goatee, a metallic shell over his nose. Wait, is there a shell over his nose? How did I not notice? Oh yeah, he does have a little covering over his nose, like a little protective covering over it. Let's see. No, when Saturn appeared, Luffy said that he sensed someone strong. Gotcha. You finally made it to a one day. Hey there, kitty. You finally made it to a One Piece stream. It's definitely within contention. I'm leaning more towards yes, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. A legendary devil fruit in the hands of a giant? We're going to be seeing some new powers in this arc. I can't wait. But let me go back to Loki. Let's see. And tends to leave his tongue hanging out while speaking. So yeah, you know the crazies tend to have their tongue speaking out. Caribou, Bellamy, Doflamingo sometimes. So the crazy people the real truly crazy people tend to have their tongues sticking out. So yeah, he's definitely crazy. He's got to be. Let me see. Relationships. Elbaf Giants. As the Prince of Elbaf, Loki is a deeply respected individual within the Kingdom of Giants. His birth was toasted for during the Winter Solstice Festival, before everything went down. He had the privilege to propose to the 23rd daughter of Charlotte Linlin, a person most hated by the entire race of giants. Despite their hatred of Linlin, his subjects certainly seemed to support him full-heartedly when he confessed his love to Lola, and Linlin believed that had the marriage been successful, their resentment would fade out of respect for Loki. So Loki, in the beginning, was respected. But he killed his dad. And then he lost that respect. Old patricide will do that to you. Consequently, when Lola escaped and Linlin attempted to pass her off her twin Chiffon as a replacement, the giant's respect for Loki caused them to further detest Linlin for offending him. Currently, however, Loki is no longer held in high regards by his people, quite the opposite, in fact. Just a few years ago, he murdered his own father, Harold, in order to obtain the legendary devil fruit, earning himself nothing but scorn and fear in his own homeland, to the point of being considered Elbaf's greatest shame as a result. For his crimes, Loki was sentenced to crucifixion, with Elbaf's strongest warriors having to stay in high alert in order to prevent his escape. They're treating Loki like he's Tai Lung. Maybe it sounds crazy, but what if the King Harold has so many children just like Big Mom since he's a king? All anime characters that have their tongue out are either crazy, overpowered, or evil. She also sticks out her tongue. She's the epitome of crazy. Yeah, Big Mom definitely is. My nose is really stuffy. I was in that car longer than I thought. Let's see. Loki fell in love with Charlotte. Lola. Let's see. As a giant, Loki is considerably more powerful than the average person. Prince Elbaf commanded an entire army of giants, which is said to be the strongest in the entire world. See, the thing was, Big Mom thought that had she taken over the military of the giants, she could have brought down all of the emperors and become the new pirate king. That was her intention. Being the prince, let's see, following his overall strength, extremely powerful giant, being noted to have required all of Elbaf's finest warriors to keep him in check, even while imprisoned. It is believed that Loki has enough power to even destroy the world should he ever be freed once again. So the man is a walking calamity. Has eaten an unnamed devil fruit. Its type and powers are unknown, but is purportedly a legendary fruit that he greatly desired to possess. Ooh! We got some trivia here. Loki shares his name with the Norse god Loki. Aside from being a god, Loki was also said to be a Jotun, a race of giants. On the other hand, his name may be a reference to Utgard Loki, a Jotun whom, unlike the Norse god of mischief, is the ruler of Utgard in Jotunheim, the homeland of the giants. Loki's own imprisonment appears to mirror that of the Loki of legend, who too was imprisoned for his role in the death of the god Balder in Norse mythology. This event would be one of the main catalysts for Ragnarok, a foretold series of battles and disasters that would lead to the world's destruction. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. And One Piece question. By all means, Kitty, please ask it. You are in the perfect location to ask a One Piece question. I may not have the encyclopedia knowledge of Tekking 101, But me and Ogata and a whole bunch of other people would be happy to answer your question. By all means, please let me get my question answering glasses. Perhaps Loki has the jinx devil fruit. Nothing spells calamity quite like a jinx. It's funny you should mention jinx because I'm still watching Arcane. I'm gonna binge watch it. I'm binge watching Arcane as soon as I get done with this session. But this was an interesting chapter. He's bringing out the glasses. Yes. I ain't a brother. I ain't just a brother with class, but I'm a brother with some intelligence. Articulated words. Y'all know I'm messing. I always mess around. But this was quite the chapter. When we finally, who is Luffy? Is he just a normal human or some kind of god descendant? He is a normal human. And I use the term normal very loosely. Luffy is just a normal average person, but he's basically has this, I want to say, he's normal and yet not normal. He's not some destined god or some descendant of a god or anything like that. He's just a normal individual who had been brought up by his grandfather Garp, who is an incredibly powerful individual in the world of One Piece. And he has this unbreakable desire to become the king of the pirates so that, he can prove to Shanks that he could, because it all stems from like Luffy back in the day when he was growing up. He was always around pirates, mainly Shanks and his crew, who have grown very fond of Luffy and his hometown. So Luffy one day wanted to join his crew. I'm giving you like a short backstory for who Luffy is. He wanted to join Shanks' crew, and Shanks says, "You're too young, you're not tough enough." So Luffy, in response to this, stabs under his eye to prove that he's tough enough, and that's where he gets his trademark scar from. And Luffy says, like, one day I'm gonna be a pirate and I'm gonna get a crew and I'm gonna show you just how strong we are. So, to make that promise stick, Shanks gave his straw hat, the same one that Luffy wears right now, as a way of saying, like, when you become a powerful pirate, give this hat back to me. And Luffy has been carrying that dream to become the king of the pirates along with that hat from Shanks ever since. Now, many things have gone on with Luffy during the course of this entire story. And it's not just specific to Luffy, but also specific to people that hold the D in their names, where individuals who have D in their names are notorious for being not only gluttons for punishment, but also somehow surviving things that they should not be surviving at all. Some may call it plot armor, others call it the will of D. So, throughout the story, Luffy has faced an insurmountable amount of pain, suffering, people that want him dead, last bosses of an arc, and he has triumphed over every single one of them. Now, the thing that puts him over Goku is the fact that his father didn't wish for his son to be prosperous going forward. So, Luffy has pretty much progressed to the point where his strength is second to none. He is able to contend with people that were seen to be invincible, and he has managed to come out on top. Him beating Kaido is by far one of the biggest feats he has ever accomplished, due to the fact that, is Shanks still alive? Very much so. In fact, he is one of the most powerful individuals in One Piece. And yeah, don't worry, Halster, I'll get to that. But Luffy has faced a whole bunch of obstacles throughout his life, where he's become stronger and stronger and stronger. And one of the biggest, most recent developments for him, considering going all the way back to as far as the Wano arc, is the fruit that we all thought Luffy had, called the Gum Gum fruit. We all thought that it was just your regular average paramecia fruit that Luffy just managed to, master and manipulate. But it turns out that this was a fabricated lie given by the world government to hide the fruit's true nature. What this fruit is called is the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika, the human fruit model Nika. And Nika is essentially a god. And when Luffy goes into his Gear 5 state, which is his height, the absolute height of his power, that's him with his devil fruit awakened, and he is essentially the most free individual in the world, in every sense of the word, where he is freely able to manipulate the world around him, he is freely able to manipulate people around him, he is freely able to manipulate even his own self to any degree that he wants to. Does he want to fight like a giant? Fine. He just shapeshifts his body into the size of a giant. Do I feel like taking the lightning bolt physically and ripping it out of the sky to use as a weapon? Yep, let me do that. I want to hit this individual straight through their body and also cause their body to contort from the punch. He was able to do that to someone that has a devil fruit that allows them to turn into light. So Luffy has progressed to the point where he is essentially he's walking Toon Force. Bro is broken. You don't even know the half of it, kitty. Because as Halster was saying, a lot of this was bolstered by his grandfather Garp, who, throughout the course of Luffy's childhood, would toss him into life or death situations to try and model him into a future Marine. But Luffy wasn't hearing it because he wanted to be a pirate. So a lot of Luffy's strength is attributed to Garp's forced training. So Luffy has done nothing but progress since that point, to the point where Luffy is just massively busted. And you have to be on equal footing with Luffy for you to do even anything that lasts. Do I want to make water into rubber? Sure. Do I want to make this ground, the ground that we're walking on, incredibly rubbery so people who are falling from a height that could kill them are able to land safely on the ground? Sure. Do I want to make my hands super big like from the mask and then slap people in between them and then squash these people flat like a piece of like a pancake and then twirl them around and then just send them flying in another direction? Yes. Luffy's power and where he is at in life right now is basically just only limited by his imagination. So many of us have grown up watching cartoons like Looney Tunes, or even going back in time to like early 1900 black and white cartoons, where cartoons are capable of surviving stuff that should kill them. Like say a character gets shot through the chest. There's a hole in his chest, but he's just fine. Or stretching their bodies to absurd degrees that really don't make much sense, yet they're completely invincible. Or if you watch the Popeye cartoons, just the massive absurdity of the stuff that Popeye would do. How did a god's power get into a fruit? That's the real mystery, isn't it? That's the real mystery, isn't it? Let's see. Attaching to a child to balloons that send him high in the sky, throw a child down a deep pit or into a jungle into dangerous creatures. Garp did a lot of training. Yeah, that was his training for Luffy. And Luffy has basically become stronger because of it. I would answer some of those questions for you, Kitty, but I'll let the captain indulge in the fun. Yes, because this is fun for me. I like talking about it. So, the thing with devil fruits is you never know just what type of power you'll come across. Because and like I did with the devil fruit deep dives, there are tons of devil fruits out there that can do an absurdly high amount of things, ranging from simply being able to become mud or a swamp and thus hide things in your body, to literally allowing your body to be chopped into any pieces you want and you survive it, which is the case with Buggy. My nose is itchy, please forgive me. Which Buggy can be cut by any blade weapon and it'll do nothing to him. It'll cause his body to basically just dismember from the contact, but it doesn't do anything to him. He's essentially immune to bladed attacks, whereas Luffy is pretty much immune to, or at least incredibly defensive against blunt force trauma. You have fruits that can turn you into magma, into light, into lightning, into sand, into lava. Well, I said magma and lava are pretty much kind of the same thing. So you have devil fruits that can allow you to manipulate darkness, draw things into that darkness and crush it under its weight. You have devil fruits that can allow you to manipulate the very foundational forces of gravity itself. You have a devil fruit that can turn you into basically just plant life, and thus give you a massive torrent of power over plant life and vegetation, even allowing you to turn into a giant golem made of wood that can even become impervious to fire. I know the pirates are after the One Piece, but do we know what that is? No. That's one of the bigger mysteries of the world of One Piece. We don't know what the will of D truly is. Neither do we know what the D initial means for characters who carry that in their names in One Piece. Whatever it is, it causes people higher up in the chain of command across the world to be very, very alert when someone with a D in their name is mentioned, let alone people asking that question. There's a lot going on in One Piece, Kitty. To sum it up, there's a lot of mysteries in the world. There's a theory to what devil fruits are that was given by Vegapunk, but we truly don't know what devil fruits are, nor where they come from, nor how they can have the power to give people all sorts of different abilities. Oh, could it be the fruit Luffy ate? The One Piece is not the fruit that Luffy ate. The One Piece is a place. I really, really hope Buggy isn't immune to Conqueror's hockey attacks. No one's tried using hockey on Buggy. Granted, due to the fact that Mihawk and Crocodile are capable of injuring him, and I'm pretty sure Mihawk uses his sword, not just his hands, I'm pretty sure that that's more than enough that can actually, it's more than enough to actually injure Buggy. But the One Piece is not a devil fruit. We don't know what the One Piece is. Some people say like it's a big old book that can decide the fates of the world, like the Never-Ending Story. CD said that one day, but I'm pretty sure that's not it. It is something tangible, but we don't know what it is. It is the greatest power. It is the greatest, not even the greatest power. We don't even know what it is. It is the greatest treasure in the world that every pirate has been searching for. Because whoever gets the One Piece will become will be seen as the new king of the pirates. However, recently, we have come to the conclusion that whoever finds the One Piece decides the fate of the world. Because the world itself is sinking into the sea. Every location across One Piece that isn't already on a high elevation will be submerged in the sea. And Vegapunk theorizes that whoever finds the One Piece will be able to decide the fate of the world. There's a lot of, like I said, Kitty, there's a lot of things going on in One Piece right now. But, long story short, there's just so many things we don't know about the One Piece. We don't know anything about the One Piece and what it is, except that when Roger and his crew, who are the only people in the history of One Piece to even find that treasure, which is why Roger was known as the king of the pirates during his time. They found it, and they just laughed at it. And they just found it so humorous, and the place is now called Laugh Tale. But no one has been able to find this treasure ever since. Everyone's trying to get their hands on it. Luffy's trying to get his hands on it so he can become the king of the pirates. However, that is not his dream. That's just a goal of his. I could go all day talking about One Piece and everything, but I got food. Also, what Q is saying just now about the world sinking into the sea and the one who finds the One Piece will control the fate of the world, we're only learned that last arc. Yeah, we only just recently learned that the world was sinking into the sea during the Elbaf arc before everything concluded. We just recently found that out. Because the world of One Piece actually had less water in it. Roger had also said that they came too early. Yeah, 20 years and we still don't know what the One Piece is or the will of D or what the D signifies or the history of the Void Century. Yeah, I know food, I will eat. But another thing is the Void Century. That requires a whole conversation all on its own. But long story short, One Piece has been going on since 1997, and the story just keeps getting better. We are now entering into the Elbaf arc, which is an area of One Piece that many of us have been looking forward to for many years. Like well over 10 years for a lot of us. Well over a full decade. Well over a decade and possibly well over close to 20 years. A lot of us have been looking forward to the day when we would enter into Elbaf, and now that we're finally here, we are all looking forward to the information that we are going to learn from the Elbaf arc, and I cannot wait. But getting Loki in this chapter, I didn't think we'd be seeing him so soon. But to find out that he's an accursed prince that took and ate a legendary devil fruit, so either they got some massive Kairoseki chains on him to keep him from using his devil fruit, or what? I don't know. All I know is we're going on a 2-week break, so that should leave us with plenty of time to theorize what type of devil fruit Loki has, how his interaction with Luffy is going to go, and just seeing the rest of Elbaf in this giant tree that basically looks like Yggdrasil. I wouldn't be surprised if the tree that all the giants live on is called Yggdrasil. Little Garden started in what year? Matter of fact, let's look that up. Little Garden arc started in the year 1999 to 2000. It literally started in the last century. Ain't that crazy? The Little Garden arc started in the 20th century. And the story is still going way into the 21st century. Ain't that crazy? I want my One Piece. I want my One Piece to win. Withdrawal starts now. But yeah. This is a good time to be a One Piece fan right now. Now, Kitty, if you ever have any more questions about One Piece, I'll be happy to answer them on the Discord as well, because One Piece has a ton of things to learn, and I would be more than happy to teach you. But yeah, that's all I got for today's reaction, ladies and gentlemen. We just met Loki, and apparently, if he gets released, then he could bring about the end of the world. So it only makes me wonder what type of devil fruit he even has. So yeah, a lot of things to think over. We're going on a 2-week break. I will see you guys on November the 11th. So should be fun. But I'm done. It's time to eat. It's time to get out of these church clothes. Get out of your church clothes and into your play clothes. It's time to eat some of this chicken and rice that my family done blessed me with. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're here for the first time or if you've been here for a hot minute and you just sit in with everybody else, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything you guys do for me. Whether it's you viewing or anything else, I just want to say thank you. I wouldn't be able to do anything that I do on this channel without you. And a lot of YouTubers really need to be saying that to their audience, because all these channels would be nothing without people to watch them. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. You let me be able to do what I love to do, which is this. And I just want to say thank you because of that. And it means the world to me. But I'm done. Time to eat. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. We are now in Elbaf. Oh, it's about to get good.